Hey y'all, Tara May here, and I'm going to be doing a review this time of the movie Crawlspace. This movie has Klaus Kinski in it, and most of you are very familiar with Klaus Kinski. Of course, he did play Nosferatu the Vampire, but he has played many notorious roles, including he was in a few Jess Franco films. He played Jack the Ripper in one of those. He has been in numerous titles, and he often plays savage killers, off the wall, odd characters. I hear he's hard to get along with, actually. There's a whole thing on here about please kill Mr. Kinski. It's rather amusing. Um, this one, the director is David Schmoller, and this film came out in the 80s, about 1986, and it's a rather fun slasher flick. Now, what was the most fun about this for me is this guy, he's a landlord in a building, and he pretty much only rents to younger, kind of, hot women that aren't married or anything like that, and nobody seems to find it suspicious that he always turns down males. Um, he's rather, inviting to women. He seems to have this really sadistic side and this really masochistic side as well. And you often see scenes of him in this sitting with a gun at his head, kind of a Russian roulette type deal with himself. Like, am I going to kill myself today, or is, fate going to save me? Which is kind of amusing. Um, this one, there's a new tenant that moves into the building, and it, of course, starts out with one of the previous tenants getting killed. And Klaus Kinski, kind of gross as usual. Um, you know, he apparently has really good rent, rates, and it's close to the school. So a lot of these are college students that he rents to, and so she's rather pleased with the, how nice the place is and all this. However, and like the movie's called Crawl Space, he kind of crawls around throughout the duct work and stuff and spies on the women. And we have a pretty good variety of women in this. Some of them with rather strange tastes. You get a scene pretty early on with a woman that is, she's got this red lacy, really pretty bra on, like, I mean, very red, and she's cutting the nipples out of it. And you see a guy peeping at her through the window. He comes in, and you think she's about to be, raped or something, but apparently this is kind of a game of kink she's into. And of course, Klaus Kinski is kind of spying on all this sort of activity going on. This woman also, she plays the piano and stuff, so you'll kind of hear her, or it's supposed to be her singing later on and whatnot. Um, there's plenty of other characters that our main female meets, in the film and stuff. And there's some rather inventive deaths. A lot of slashers, they always try to think outside the box because they realize that fans like those less ordinary deaths. And it's not just one single weapon used. He also, Klaus Kinski, keeps a woman in a cage. I believe she must not have a tongue. She never speaks. She passes him a note one time that just says, "Please kill me." And she just has the most horrible, sad look on her face when she says this, like, pleading, and it's literally like puppy dog eyes, and it's kind of sad. Her hair's all cut off and stuff. She's very dehumanized, kept like an animal in this cage and stuff. And really, he's just creeping around the building and spying and killing and whatnot. But it's a really fun film, and this was the Scream Factory release. Keep getting that glare. I actually prefer the picture that's on the disc, but I saw some rather interesting poster art whenever I looked up images. I often tweet about the movies as I watch them. This wasn't, I mean, it was one of the covers, but you didn't see it as much. There was some interesting ones, like this cover, but not so orange, which I actually thought was better than all orange like that. So, this movie was I got this on sale at Scream Factory, and while I'm not necessarily doing the Scream Blu-ray review, it was a good transfer. It had some decent special features on it and whatnot. But I would suggest a lot of people, if you like slasher flicks, inventive deaths, random nudity, stuff, and it's got Klaus Kinski in it, so you really can't go too wrong. He always plays a pretty good off the wall killer, with serious issues. So I'd suggest a lot of you check it out. I think most of y'all would like it. And of course, I tend to like slashers and stuff anyway. It's not super gory, but it does have its moments. And again, being done in the 80s and stuff, there is a slight element of cheese to it, but not that much. It's really not too heavy on the cheese. Um, Apparently, the director also did Tourist Trap, Catacombs, and Puppet Master. So some of you all may be familiar with some of those films, of course. And that's about all I have to say on it. But I would say if you see this one, I would check it out. If you have any questions or there's reviews you'd like to see me do, you can leave some comments below, or you can follow me at Taramae79 on Twitter, and that's TARAMAE79. And I'm always happy to answer questions. I post a lot of stuff, a lot of movies that I'm watching and things like that. So I'm hoping to hear from y'all and see what your suggestions are. And until next time, have a good afternoon or whatever time of day it is for you. Ta-ta.